All right, guys. Part number 2. So we got those pieces on. We already know how the wheel wells are going to fit. Before we go doing that, so we're going to start putting the gas tank. We're going to put the center floor. We're going to make little rails going all the way up and back so that we can mount the aluminum floor down onto that. That front piece in there, that's going to get filled in. So we're going to do sheet metal from here. So this will be capped off clean. And then from here all the way back will be aluminum, and then that'll all be capped off later, whatever. All right, so the gas tank, what we're figuring on is going to get mounted from underneath, because the gas tank is about, reaches about there and there. So it's like 18, it's 19, it's 20 inches across, and this opening is only 18. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the floor, the aluminum floor, all the way back to here. The fuel pump gets mounted back here. The tank will be under. It'll have enough room to put your fittings or whatever. You have an access door here, because it's got to be isolated from the rest of the car. So what we're doing right now is Joshua is taking the gas tank apart. So we're taking all this gas tank apart. We're going to take these two fittings, because they just cleared the rails. We're going to take them off and mount them here. So you don't even have to take the floor or nothing off to get the tank fittings on. So we're going to mount one there, one there. One's a vent and one's a return line. Okay, so we don't have to notch the tank at all. And then the other thing we're doing is this floor came as a kit, right? But the frame is narrower than the floor kit, and the floor kit has ribs down the middle of it, and you'd have to shear both sides, but it's already got curves in it, so we're not going to even do that. What I'm going to do is, we got the other tub that he didn't use. This also has the ribs in it, but this is flat. So I'm going to bring it over to Dutra's and have him shear both ends off and have these ribs centered, and then that'll look good because it'll be all one big giant piece. Okay? And then we'll make it go front to back. That's the plan. That's the plan. Again, it's a plan. And then we got a couple things we're going to be doing. I think we're notching those two rockers on the inside. Dom's going to come down here. We're going to measure a couple things out. We might be notching those. So we're not going to put the tubs in. If we get this other stuff done, that'll be way plenty, okay, today, because we got to make these little support rails all the way down, seal everything off the front. All right, so I'm going to go drop all this stuff off to get welded at Dutra's, the aluminum, and get that other piece sheared off. And then we'll go from there. All right.
Okay. I'll fish those out. Take the sending unit out. And that's it.
That's it.
Then we'll get two pieces, plug those holes, and then might put them on the back, very top corner.
They're gonna go right here like this. One here. Actually, go.
Yeah.
This way they're out of the way from the frame rail. Put one like that and one like that. We could have put them in here like this, but then you remember the frame rail's only that big. Now you got to worry about the elbow touching and then trying to get it off when it's in the car.
All right.
Bingo, right in there like that. All right. One there and one there like that.
Perfect.
Now they'll fit nice. Okay.
Weld those up, and then that'll be it.
Put those right before. That's why I have the bulldog up from smashing.
trying to save this piece. Trying to save the piece, and so we can use the ribs that are in it. So he cut down another piece of aluminum, and where the thing comes down and clamps down onto the piece, they would have crushed it. Trying to get this to fit against the frame first, and then I can cut this out. That fits nice, no gap. It's gonna go there, like that.
Nice.
And then I need it's gonna go like that. And then I need you to hold that. And then I'm gonna come in here and trace this out.
Okay.
And this will slip over the whole thing.
Okay. Let me go in there.
Get this cut out. Go stick that in there now. See how that fits. All right, so we got that in there. Okay. Get that welded in. And then here, we'll just move it. Mark it there. And on this side, like that. And then cut it clean off. And then we start the other piece from here going forward. All right, so heated that up with the little propane deal, cut that off and moved it over so you can see that. Put the porta power in there, we spread that. We're gonna push that back down in its spot, and then it'll have more room for a dry shaft. Okay?
Weld it up.
I'll weld it up.
Yep. Got one side in, so I'm welding this side up.
Alright. And then this will be sealed off.
Okay.
Alright. Welded in. Now we just got to fill in the space between the tunnel and the panel. And then I had these pieces of 1/8 inch sheared off, and those are going to make rails from here all the way down and around. And then that piece of aluminum that we got sheared off is going to get mounted to that. So that's going to go up and over, and it'll have a ledge to go down onto. All right, so probably across the top we'll put something, and at the end we'll put something across. All right, so this is what we're doing next. So we got a piece of aluminum as a spacer so that it'll sit flush, right? And then I'm gonna check that with a piece of aluminum every couple of like 3 or 4 inches, and then tack it on the bottom, tack it on the bottom, tack it on the bottom. And then we'll roll it and roll it all the way down to the end. All right, so these will be in place. So this will be flush. This is nice and heavy. This one will be nice and flush, so that'll be heavy. And then we'll just, the straight part, once I tack the straight part in, then I can start rolling it around the round edge and bring it back down and over. All right. This off. I'll cut that piece off. That's going to end right there anyway. And then I'll straighten it out a little bit and then keep tacking it. All right, so you're getting how it's going. Little piece. That's gonna get just get straightened out like that. one side, and then the aluminum will sit right down on that, and it'll be flush with the rail. All right, that's one side. Tomorrow we tackle the other side. All right, now Daryl showed up. We gotta weld that tank and then bungs on while he's here. Alright, so we got the other rail on. So now both rails are down. We can start making put the aluminum in there, the front piece is in. I'm gonna put this center piece of aluminum in, clamp it down, and then start making some holes. We're gonna use little 1/8" rivets with the glico clips in them so they can come back off. So I'm gonna make it all fit nice. Once it's all fit, we'll take it all back out, and then he can do whatever he wants as far as painting and whatever he's gonna do. All right, check it out, right? Slide in there, and then it'll just go right down. And as we rivet it, put glico clips in it, it'll fold right up, go right into its spot. It'll look nice and clean. And this has like a cover on it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got like a piece of laminate on it. So once it's all done, everything's all painted, and you just take all that off. That thing will be nice. It's got the ribs going down the center. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all centered nice. Perfect. Okay? Once we fit it all in, and then we'll take it all back out, I'll trim it in the back, give a little tweak in the front, and then trim it in the back to fit. And that's it. Matter of fact, once it fits in here, I can actually tuck it underneath, probably underneath that little lip, so nothing will be even sticking out. So that came out real good. I'm really happy with that. I'm sure Dom will be too. And once we do this, get that all done, then he should be down here, and we can see what we're doing about cutting the rockers on the inside for tire growth, and then we can put the wheel tubs in it. Finish welding up a few things. Gas tank is going to be ready to go, and then we make some straps to hold the gas tank up, and a battery tray, make some side panels. I think it'll be good. All right, coming along real nice. Next step. So we got these things in here, these rails, right? I had the one piece laying across. So what we're gonna do now is I just got a piece of 1 5/8" round tube. We're gonna mount that across here. We got the tank all back together. So one tube is gonna be across the front, one is gonna be across the back. And then I'm gonna redo the straps. I'm gonna weld a couple of bolts to the bottom of the tubes, and the straps will hold it up that way. You don't need nothing on the top because the tank goes past the rails. And just put a piece of, we have the felt stuff that we use so it won't vibrate against the metal. And then the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a couple of, I just picked up these straps right here, 1/8", same as the rail. And we're gonna put probably
Couple
one,
across the center.
a couple of, like one in the front, one in the middle on the top, one on the bottom here. So probably 4 or 5 of those straps across to keep the aluminum from going flopping around and looking bowed. You want it to look real good. So I'm gonna cut all that stuff to length and I'm gonna weld them all in. And then that'll be done. The gas tank will be
drill
done.
all the holes out for it.
When Dom shows up, we're probably gonna end up cutting. He wants to see about cutting those boxes of that frame rail of the rocker. So we're gonna notch. I think what we're doing is we're notching like this. So we're gonna go to here, right, like this, and then cut this little notch out, and then just plate it like that, flat, so the tire doesn't. If the tire grows, it doesn't hit against that. Which I don't think it's
shouldn't,
gonna.
but
I don't think it's gonna, but just in case.
If it gets that big, it's gonna hit the whole lip anyway. But.
All right, so that's what we're gonna do now. Let's go cut some metal. Good.
Yep.
Right there. H and 5/8 mild steel.
Perfect.
Yep. No, I gotta trim it just a hair.
But now we can just grind it a little.
Grind it a little bit. Make that fit nice and tight.
Alright, so we welded
Like that, and it's gonna be like that.
2 bolts on.
And then this one, like that, right? And then,
Here. What did I do with the 2? Behind.
this is gonna go in here. Like that. Same thing. Same as that one. Alright.
Measure it out.
I need the nut. Give me 2 nuts. Put these back on the strap. This one like this. Like that. Let's go there. And then we'll measure from here.
Tack it real quick. I'm gonna
I need that.
hold the other side.
Yeah, I need to hold the other side. Alright. We're gonna need like 2 hands. Put the camera down for 1 minute. We're just gonna set these up, take a measurement, tack them in place, and then we'll finish welding it.
Sorry, my head was on it. Said small, my head was on it. We got it all lined up now. Weld it in.
Nice.
And then we'll measure where the straps line up with the same measurement as the tank, and then we'll tack the bolt in.
So we got that mounted in there. 2 straps on the top, and that's mounted in there like that. It even covered up those 2 welded hole bungs that we took off. That's nice in a good spot. And then over here, once we make the floor, we got an access door that he's gonna put in there, and we're good. Okay, so we're just gonna space out. I spaced out 1 nut on the back here. We're gonna do the same thing on the front, but it's all in there. It fits good. So now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the little straps that go across here for the floor, and that should be done. And we'll see what else is going on next after that. All right. So next thing is we're gonna make all the straps.